Welcome everyone. I don't play WoW, but I'm here to warn you this episode contains some fruity language and a serious amount of brain power.
Right, welcome everyone. Shadowlands edition, we're back, and we've been playing. We've been queuing up. Frothy's been in some dirty queues. Luke's lag is still there,
It's really good with expansion.
but
I'm
that's
not
it.
lagging at all.
So welcome
So
back everyone. We've sadly lost Johnny to the fish in Africa. I don't think he's coming back. Sadly, it does look like he's completely left the game, which is
Yeah,
sad.
he does hate us.
has
That's
anyone actually heard from him? Or...
But no, I have
No.
legitimately texted him, and like I've texted him to the point where I've said like, look, I really miss you. You know, Johnny, please be straight with me. I need closure. And he's fucking popped online, on just pure ghosted. And
So
I
he has come
thought,
online.
Yeah.
I
Good
thought
sign.
that's it.
I thought he might be in dire straits or
Well,
something.
that's
I
it.
thought that's
Yeah.
enough for me. Do you know what I mean?
So welcome back everyone else. This is like a after when did we last want to do one? I think coronavirus was still a thing.
Was
Hopefully
it?
we're coming to an end now. I mean,
We-
Mojo's give us a vaccine, so hopefully that's going to sort us out.
Yeah.
But no, so welcome everyone back to Shadowlands.
just think.
Luke's gone Robo Luke, as you can probably hear in the background there. I guess what we started off with, what is everyone actually playing? Because I feel like a few of us may have changed from when we last did a video. Especially Mr. Frothy, he's no longer playing what we thought he was playing.
To be fair, I'm staying strong on the paladin.
He has, right. So let's start with Frothy. Frothy, give us your from the Holy Paladin what you was gonna play. Where did you go and where did you come back to, and now what you're doing?
So I was relatively put off Holy Paladin actually, based on the pre-patch changes. Didn't really like them. The sound of them through watching beta and watching content and stuff like that, and then actually playing the class in pre-patch wasn't very fun. Didn't feel great. Um, so Omen and Aaron as well, because Torn kind of still wanted to go back to DPS and stuff like that. So it was kind of, having a difficult time with it. Ended up going to Rogue because Rogue is what I played before. So it was just a comfortable choice for me. I think going back into a role, I wanted to be on a class that I was already comfortable on. Turns out we had a lot of rogues, and we didn't need any more, especially with Luke and Stab XD. Really couldn't match that male Panda and Rogue. So, and it was apparent that we actually had no Paladin at all. So no Paladin, no spec, which is quite poor actually. Bringing stuff like auras, sort of blessings, all the utility a Paladin brings. You do need one. So
Crusader
we
Aura.
decided, yeah, that's really and Retribution are just so useful. So we decided that the best thing to do was actually for me to stay on Paladin, but as DPS, so I went Retribution.
So Frothy has become the new Johnny, really.
Yeah, so I'm a bit more pale, less caramel.
Do you
Less
know
cool
to
boys.
do you know how to fish?
I do know how to fish,
Do you have a sister?
There we go.
I don't. I wish, especially one that looked like Johnny's.
I mean,
But
Well, it
never
would be
I,
mind.
kind of weird if it's your own sister, though.
That's what it is, isn't it? But
oh god, what a great
yeah,
start!
so stayed on Paladin. But then since coming into the Shadowlands as well, I've been playing all the specs. So I actually started playing. Went Kyrian, obviously, only choice of Paladin. Statistically speaking, absolutely not. Probably should have went Vent there for that extra 1% DPS, but didn't want to because kind of lame. So yeah,
Yeah.
one is play Kyrian. One, went with the fantasy. Went for the Kyrian. Tend to lend itself to all the specs. Since come back, played some Holy Paladin. It's actually really fun. It turns out Divine Toll really just made the difference. It was quite shocking that how much Divine Toll brought to Holy. So playing a Holy a lot, planning to play Ret and Raids, but actually I've only been playing Protection recently because we were short on tanks, so I've been tanking for the stat groups and
Yeah, no.
stuff.
Done some dungeons with you. On prop paladins seem absolutely insane at the moment in dungeons.
So fun.
Damage
Yeah,
is
really
good,
strong,
the
really
healing's
fun.
strong. But
Yeah.
no, it's good. Mr. DT. I mean, I don't think there's gonna be much surprises here, is there? But
Well, no, not many surprises. My main will still be Resto Druid, at least in the beginning, the first year. I have started an alt, Resto Shaman, because of the pre-patch data we got. Resto Shaman's being really strong in raids, certain fights, their output, and for me it was new, so I went I didn't want to just switch to another main going Resto Shaman because if that was not my feel or they were gonna nerf it because you never know. There were so many changes during the pre-patch, especially at the end. You didn't know what was gonna make it and what wasn't. Um, so that's why I didn't want to switch my main because at the Druids, I feel at home. But at some point, I might actually do the switch depending on
Exciting.
the experience we will have in the first raid. If the rest of Druids is underperforming um,
You've been playing
compared to
some.
the rest of Shaman,
You've been
then
playing
yeah.
some Boomkin as well, haven't you? I think I played a few of you.
Yeah, that's a good thing about the pre-patch now. Not the pre-patch, the beginning of the patch now, the beginning of the expansion. Now it's good to play the Boomkin. We will see how it furthers with the
Well,
legendaries coming in, because now you can actually do an off spec or an alt. It's easy to maintain,
yep.
but it kind of depends on how the expansion will evolve. Not having your legendary straight from the beginning and stuff like that, and you never know what Blizzard is gonna do. But Boomkin is just very fun to play, especially
Very strong.
PvP.
Yeah.
Battlegrounds is very strong. You do more DPS than anybody, just because of the fact of Starfall. That's basically the only skill you need to use. Also in dungeons, it has utility, and no, it is a druid, so it's fun. We'll see in raids where the Boomkins land, because I think they're kind of middle in the pack now.
I think they're very good
But we'll
single
see.
target. I think they're quite strong from what I've
Yeah.
seen. But
Yeah.
no, it's good. So we've got our Resto Druid, possibly soon to be Resto Shaman. Who knows?
Yeah, who knows?
And then Mr. Lag himself, Luke, are you with us?
I mean, he's there visually. He's visually.
I
He's
can
there.
see him, but he has. Luke, can you hear us, mate?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, maybe turn your camera
Yeah.
off while you talk. That might work. So we're just having some technical difficulties with Luke.
We'll just put a picture of him there, actually. There you go. Look, his face still there.
Luke, we can still see you. That's good. Don't worry. We can see. Tell us about what you're playing, what you're thinking, how's the confidence, everything. You enjoying it?
Well, can you actually hear me right now?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Absolutely.
We can
Much
hear you.
better.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah, so I'm playing Vogue. Vogue. It's not the meta at all. People, but I just couldn't. I'm Panda. Fairy.
So Luke's gone Panda Fairy, which we all
So,
take the piss out of him because he's a male panda and he's also.
There's a
No,
tubby.
he's not. He's not. You're not
panda
Fairy, are you? I
thing.
thought you went Memphia, didn't you? So
I'm on the meta.
I
which is
thought
Fairy.
that was a meme.
Luke,
I don't think he went then for you.
you are
He
lagging
did.
quite bad, Luke.
He did.
Yeah. No, I went. It might be better to just skip me right now.
Yeah, all right, we'll come back. We'll come back to Luke once his connection picks back up. Yeah, no worries, Luke. We'll come back to you. Don't worry. So, I've been playing Disc Priest as we said at the start. Sticking with that at the moment. We'll see how it goes. It looks interesting. Spirit Shell's been nerfed a fair few times, which I'm quite sad at because I was quite looking forward to that.
That was always going to happen.
Yeah, I think it
Yeah.
was. So
They're still in a good place.
they're still very strong. They're
Oh,
really,
yeah.
really strong in dungeons. I've been really enjoying the mythics, and I'm really excited for. I'm actually quite glad we're raiding on Thursday because I really want to push some mythics on Wednesday. I think this could be an expansion where Disc Priests are one of the preferred healers in Mythic Plus because
Yeah, I think they've completely given a lot of the stuff they
they've
were
got
lacking. Dispel and bursting.
really good.
Is one a big thing.
So it's
So, yeah.
positive, and I think people are starting to see the benefits of PI within a dungeon. So power infusion is absolutely nuts. Pouring it on mages in combustion and warlocks when they're ramping through, it's absolute chaos.
Not the ret paladins though.
No, yeah, we've had a fair few arguments in groups of everyone saying
massively benefit from it, but
yeah, I'm just gonna get a random like roulette table, but just pick someone for the raid and be like, yeah, you can have PI.
Yeah.
But no, it's good.
I like you most.
That's it. I really enjoyed it. And to be honest, I'm really enjoying Mindsoothe. It actually allows you to skip quite a lot of trash in dungeons. Mindsoothe, it's really powerful. But no, we'll see. But no, I'm enjoying it. I am going to play a bit of Holy because
you have a lot of buttons now on the priest.
yeah, there's a lot. I haven't tried Shadow yet, but I did.
How many bars did you need to make?
I've got 2, 4, 5. I've got 6 bars.
You got 6 bars.
Yeah, quite a lot.
Yeah.
There's a lot there, but yeah. So it's really fun. But no, playing Venfia. I'll play that for 3 weeks at least.
How do you like the tea party?
The tea party is the worst thing I've ever done in my life. I still don't understand what I'm doing at that tea party. All I know is I'm running around just giving everyone tea. I think were you watching me when I lined everyone up and I was just giving tea left, right, and centre? Yeah.
Yeah.
Still,
It's a funny thing though, because Luke went Fentir as well, because he didn't want to go Night Fae because it was a little too fairy for him. And now he's
Never
serving
mind
tea.
serve tea, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
ultimately, it looks a bit crappy. It's not the Path of Ascension,
Oh god. Path of
but
Yeah.
Ascension, Christ. We'll get
How
on
is
to.
Path of Ascension?
That's it.
yeah, I like it because I think it's really hard. So, like, I've not tried a couple of the other ones,
Tea
but
party's
it's
hard, mate.
really,
Trust me.
I mean, yeah. So you're looking at you're looking at the T5, and it looks sort of tedious. There's lots of
Yeah,
micro tasks to do and all that kind of stuff. But the Path of Ascension, the first actual fight after the tutorial, once you've actually figured it out, because it doesn't strictly tell you how to beat the boss, you basically play as one of your soul binds to get an ability set, and you have to beat like a boss from the past. So you have to do some stuff to unlock different bosses. It has different difficulties.
yeah.
But the actual encounter, and then you can make equipment as well to bolster you. You might get like a dash. You might make a weapon that makes you do more damage. So there's all different layers of it. But the actual encounter, it took me 12 minutes to defeat the boss.
Wow.
Of
Nice.
actually not messing up as well, because I had to redo it a couple of times because I sort of messed up a mechanic, and then you lose too much health and you can't do it. So
But
it's actually really challenging content, and that's on the easiest difficulty. So I think it could be really engaging actually.
yeah, no. I plan to go Kyrian for Mythic Plus pushing reasons with Boone. I think probably about a month. So I'm quite excited to do this Path of Ascension that Frothy talks about on a daily basis. It sounds
It's
fun.
good.
And then maybe you can go do the tea
Sounds like the
parties.
best content in the game, to be honest.
It's,
I mean, it is.
what
By
are
the
your
way,
thoughts?
Frothy says it anyway.
What are your thoughts, Luke, on the tea party? You're Venfear as well. Have you enjoyed the tea party?
Well, being British and being a tea lover myself, I think it really embraces the culture. I've not had that kind of culture since Mr. Pandari really got the kind of the Japanese kind of culture in there
The
and
the
the
noodle
apartment
cat.
and
Yeah.
yeah, exactly all that stuff, and it's just bringing a bit of British culture in. So
Well played,
I
Blizzard.
love it.
Bringing it back home.
Yep, thank you
But,
very much.
but
So
no, that's
whilst he's here as well,
yeah.
and he's connected,
He
what do
is.
you
Yeah,
have to say
I'll
about
tell
what
you.
do you say about Rogue then?
I'll tell you about my rogue. So I was just telling you a story of I haven't gone with the meta covenant, which is Night Fae, because I couldn't be a fairy because I'm already a male panda called Luke in Stab XD.
So you already you're already kind of down here
And
as
just to
opposed to up
clarify,
Well,
there.
he's got
there's
no transmog either, so he looks
there's a
awful.
certain amount you can meme,
Right.
and I kind of realised how ridiculous I looked the other day because when you do the tea party, you can like don a formal costume. And it put this yellow like dress on me, dude, and I looked absolutely just ridiculous. You can see all the panda curves in it. I looked like a woman. I
All
didn't
the
want
All
to
the
be.
panda
curves!
curves. All your back,
All
all
the
your back,
curves!
all the back
Like,
rolls.
Kim Kardashian over here playing for the Venfear.
honestly, it looked terrible. So but but I'm enjoying Rogue itself. It's something I've never played. I can already tell I'm probably going to be one of the best Rogues in the world just from these past 2 weeks.
In the
Ah,
world.
yeah, I mean,
Alright, yeah, no, it's good.
yeah.
Yeah,
Looking
so
forward to some
It's good
arena.
to have that confidence, to be
that's
honest.
the way it's looking
Yeah.
so far. Anyway, obviously, what I'm looking forward to most is I'm not really a fan of all this leveling, doing dailies and stuff like that.
Just playing the game in
I just
general.
can't wait to get into raid and start looking at logs and improving my gameplay because that's what I enjoy about WoW the most. I can see how rubbish I actually am at Rogue. Look at the logs, improve myself. I can't wait until that.
That
So
has to be a very, very unique reason for playing this game, Luke. It's
why?
interesting. It's good, mate. And to be honest, I think it's done a nice little bit of a welcome back to everyone. And
Yeah,
Shadowlands
sorry
sort
about
of
the
a
lag.
it's alright, sort of a bit of a Shadowlands comeback. But it's good. So I guess moving on from what we're playing and stuff, we've covered Covenants a little bit. Is there anything that people have sort of realised I want to call out about the Covenant systems and how it works and all the... I guess there's your buildings and all that stuff. Is your Amina for everyone within Thunderclaps, or Anima if you're not.
Amina.
I think there's quite a lot of different things. So let's discuss the buildings. There's 4 buildings.
Yeah.
You've obviously everyone's got a travel system of some form. Everyone's got your mission table. Everyone's got the rare or the chest or whatever. And then
Well, maybe you can just enlighten me because I know probably for Venthyr it's the mirrors.
Yep.
To travel. For Bastion it's probably the teleports, or is it wings or something?
It's the teleport pad.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
what is it for the other two? I'm not actually sure.
DT. What is
Well,
it?
for Night Fae, you have the mycelial network, which they stole from, well, either Star Trek or something else. So it's a mushroom network.
I feel like
Yeah,
I
exactly.
stole that from RuneScape, to be
You're
honest.
telling us Blizzard stole some copyright
Whoa,
infringement here,
is that copyright? Do we need to put like a banner across the screen saying
I
Yeah,
feel
copyright
like
here?
just
they
imagine.
thought
Just imagine.
RuneScape's a good game, and they've done that well on RuneScape.
Yeah, they got-
I'm pretty sure no one's ever thought that, to be
Yeah,
honest.
to be
Yeah,
fair,
yeah.
don't worry. The RuneScape conversation is coming at the end of the show from Frothy's
Oh,
quote.
excellent.
It's coming. That discussion is coming. It's on the agenda. Don't worry.
No, we got the mushroom network to travel. We got the empowering of a certain rare or area, as everyone else does. I really like the system as is. It's totally optional. If you don't do it, it's not gonna change
Yeah,
your
yeah.
player power or anything of that. It's a fun thing to do, which I think is very nice. There are a lot of things in Shadowlands that you don't need to do, but are fun to do for some people.
Yep.
So I like that a lot more than having a gigantic list of things. Oh, I need to do this today,
It's
need
nice,
to do
isn't it?
this tomorrow, and I can't get it done, so I feel behind or whatever.
That is
Yeah.
probably my
And I
favourite
think,
part
yeah,
of this expansion, yeah.
I was gonna say that
To be
Luke,
honest.
someone like Luke is absolutely loving that because I know he hates all that.
It's my favourite start to expansion by far because I think for the last 2 or 3 we've had world quests. You've missed like 4 of the mysteries you've had to do. You've had Azeroth power, which you had to farm. It was linked to power. A lot of the stuff we're doing now are not linked to power,
Yep.
which is what I'm grateful for. That's the aspect where I don't have to log in and do a million
Yeah.
things just to keep up with the power aspect of it. It's purely
Yep.
just to progress your storyline, get cosmetics and stuff like that. That's fine for the collectors and the people who just enjoy the game, I guess, outside of the
Yeah,
raiding.
no, agree. I think it's
Yep.
massive. It's massive that the whole power structure and the fact that
It makes it a lot easier for alts as well.
yeah,
Because
yeah,
if you have that gigantic list to do, I mean, you're not going to do it on 2 characters
yeah, and
Yeah.
or 3.
I'm loving that with my hunter. I'm
Mm.
playing hunter as well as a second character, like an alt, and just the ability to do them both within an hour is so easy. The callers are just great. It's
Yeah,
so
I
easy.
don't know if I'm. So I've got my alt as a DK, playing blood mainly. And I've been keeping it up to date. It's up to date so far, but I was thinking to myself, I'm not sure if I was gonna leave it for a little bit, and that's not because it's hard to maintain a lot. It is a lot easier because obviously the player power stuff is quite minimal.
Mhm.
It's just because I'm finding that there's so much I want to do on my paladin, and this is coming from a lens of like I want to do the collectibles, I want to do all not just the content I need to do. There's just so much cool stuff that I want to do. So I want to do all the anima conductor stuff. I want to do kind of get got a couple of the mounts. Know quite a lot of us have been getting some of the mounts, but and
Yeah.
all that kind of stuff.
There's a boatload of mounts and toys you can get this expansion in there from theirs and the such.
Can I just say,
It's a collector's dream, this
I have
expansion.
been so lucky. I'm doing like 12 mounts a day, or something, shooting on 2 characters like rares, and I'm doing so well. I have got so many of them. I got the
You look really
fox.
proud. You look really proud
I
of
have
yourself,
honestly. I got the green fox, yeah. But all they did was take the shop bought one and reskin it, which I find hilarious that they've done that. Because if you pay £20 for a mount and they just brought it in and recoloured it, I'd be pretty mad.
I remember everyone hyping up a frog mount like it was a rare or something, and it turns out it's just a toy you need to get, which comes every 20 minutes or something.
So
Yeah,
I got a question for you, Kane. As a mount collector, will you go through every covenant to get all the covenant mounts?
yeah, 100%. So I've done hunter for that night fair, and then I'm gonna do a druid potentially, but I know at the moment it's quite all heavily linked to night fair.
Mm.
A lot of
Yeah.
the specs, and I don't really want to do another night fair, so I think I might pause that and do paladin like Frothy and go Kyrian.
Nice.
Because
Yeah, I mean, Path of Ascension, at the end of the day, is just a reason to go Kyrian. This is my main problem with alts is that I just want to go Kyrian.
yeah, no, to be fair,
Before a path of ascension, yeah.
just shot Path of Ascension. But
I
yeah,
mean, for an alt, it doesn't really matter that much. If you do less, it kind of depends on what you want to do with that alt. But if it does less than your main,
yeah.
I mean,
I think the hard one's Necrolord because not a lot of classes seem to play Necrolord.
I've had to go
I
Necrolord
do.
on my Death Knight. In fact, yeah, Wrestle Shaman does, and
Wrestle
Death
Shaman,
well,
yeah.
Unholy Death Knight does, because I went Necrolord, so I was playing
So I
Unholy
think
before I started
that
playing more Blood. But
them two do, and then Holy Priest does. But so I think my Shaman will probably get
it's
leveled.
the most
Alright.
underrepresented Covenant for sure.
It's
Yeah.
because the ability.
What's the travel system in Maldraxxus?
I don't know.
I don't
To be
know because I
honest
Maybe
haven't
that's
unlocked that one.
our task
I
for the
could
next
find out.
podcast with
I
Paul.
know
If you know,
that
drop it
the
down in the
version.
comments.
Yeah, if you know, drop it down in the comments.
Yeah.
I know that their version of the Path of Ascension is the Abomination Factory, which is to
That
me
sounds magical.
not. I mean, I've done the pre-quest. You know, it was okay. It just kind of
It's
made
Path of Ascension like the T7 one, if
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
like the class specific. All it really gives you is like another tint of the Transmog. You don't have to do
It's
it.
alright, look, the Inventia
Oh.
one gets good, trust me. You'll unlock eventually like this thing to fix broken mirrors. It's exciting, trust me, Dora.
It sounds riveting, to be honest.
But
That's the content I live for, really.
maybe we can get a Necrolord specialist on the next one, because for me, what I can't understand is I feel all the Covenants have a good like base ability, so your Fox, your Vile Dude, and then your Door of Shadows. But the
And then you have
Necrolords, it's
Fleshcraft.
Fleshcraft, and
It's
Fleshcraft seems
not good.
really shit.
It's not good.
It
It
has
is.
potential to be good, but it needs some fundamental changes, such as at least cast whilst moving, or just weaker and instant cast. Because
Either
Instant.
either
know,
instant.
What is it,
e-
Fleshcraft? Is that the
it's
shield?
a
It's
big
a
shield.
shield.
So the only real use for it right now is two real uses for it, and that is using it on a pre-pull just so you have an absorb for some damage within the next 2 minutes.
As a ranged.
It's reasonably useful
Yep.
on tanks as a form of active mitigation. So you can just stand there and channel it. If you're taking like on Sanguine Deaths, there's an ability, like there's a couple of boss abilities where it's just really hard melee hits, and you can just sort of channel it there and use that to mitigate damage. But that's quite niche and quite bespoke. It's not really how you'd want to only use the ability.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
For
it
me,
just needs
for
some work.
I thought it was all movement speed, or movement kind
It
of.
I
gives
thought
you
as
some
well
buffs
initially,
as
but
well, but
They're
that's
not.
yeah,
Yeah. I mean,
you can put some soul binds into it that
Yeah,
buffs
yeah.
it, but because it is so shit, you don't do that because when you're gonna cast it, it's like a 2-second cast. I mean, which class uses a shield like, oh, let me just cast this for 2 seconds?
To
Doesn't
be
work.
honest, I think even the Venfia one is not the best. Door of Shadows I think
It's rubbish, dude.
I
It's
personally
it sounded a lot more broken than it is.
it did like
it,
it's
it's
the
only
originally.
useful. It's useful in Torghast to get
it's
past
yeah
that.
Yeah, because no one can survive those traps, right?
Yeah.
Well, no, that's what I mean. It's useful there, and also if you glide in the Maw and get stuck, then Door of Shadows is great because I get stuck on a daily basis, and as a priest I
Yeah.
can't get out. But
Yeah.
for me,
Yeah.
if you cast it when you're playing normally, you can get to the place you're casting it to by the time you've cast it. There's not really much point in it.
So
I
I've got a question
yeah.
for you all. What is your favorite looking Covenant ability? Because I saw a Demon Hunter do, I think it was called the Hunt or something, in a battleground, and it looked sick. Like his Kyrian ability, he just like hunts someone down, goes flying.
Oh yeah, is it like the charge?
Yeah. It looked
Yeah.
sick, dude. The animation on
So
it's
that
mad.
that in arena, a lot of the pros have been doing it in arena, and it looks mental. Like it just charges at them and leaves a massive blue trail behind them.
It's a Night Fae
Yeah.
ability, not
Night
Kyrian.
I think
Fae,
for
yeah.
me, the Death Knight Night Fae, which kind of looks like loads of like blue cracks on the floor.
Yeah. That looks
Yeah.
cool.
Just like I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's just a blue color. It just looks so rich and vibrant. Like I think a lot of the Night Fae ones just look like
I think
really
Yeah.
aesthetically like
The
pleasing.
first day I was doing a dungeon, I think it was, and that ability came in. I was like, oh, do
Like
I need to
moving
stand
out
in
of
it or move
everything.
out of
Yeah,
it?
you
Yeah.
don't
I
know
didn't
what's
know what it
going on.
was. Yeah, exactly.
my favourite's the Hunter Night Fae ability. It's mental. How you just obviously you've got the blue circle, and then when you're casting, it's beaming down rays, and it's just the amount of DPS that run out of it. I think Luke actually ran out of it once when I put it on the floor.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, because I had no clue what it
For
was.
some reason,
Yeah.
tanks can't see it, but everybody else can see it. And obviously, that's how they've designed it. But it doesn't help because your tanks tend to move it out quite a lot.
Yeah, I've done that to
It's
Hunter
quite annoying.
before, and he was like,
Especially in
"Can
the
you not
beginning.
do that?"
Because
Yeah.
that's like if you pop like that on a pack of trash, that trash is, as everyone's seen, marksman will just take them down in seconds.
Well, I've seen marksmen doing silly numbers in dungeons, like 12k AoE.
Mad,
Like,
innit?
Yep.
around there. That's just mental. I can't even get up to like 5k on my
I
build.
think we had a tank in a heroic earlier, and he pulled like most of the first part of Necrotic Wake. So I just popped everything, and I think I did like 12 points something K, and I just
Yeah, that's
everything
mad,
just
dude.
died. It was mental.
Yeah.
Yep.
Which is fun. It's a fun ult. I'm really enjoying it as an ult. Is anyone else?
What's the cooldown on that?
2 minutes. So
Right, I was going to say,
I
because
think
it
most
does mad
abilities.
damage.
it lines up
Yeah.
quite nicely with your double tap and your true shot aura and everything.
And then we have Ashen Hollow, which, to be fair, is a really fun ability and did make me kind of want to go Venthyr for Paladin because it does huge burst. But I think part of the reason I went Kyrian by the fantasy and just the who doesn't want to shoot out 5 Avenger Shields or 5 Holy Shocks, you know? Because it's not actually
Mate.
that fun, correct? 5 Judgments is a lot less fun than 5 Avenger
Frothy's
Shields.
going back holy, I'm telling you. 5 holy
Oh,
shocks.
5 Holy. It's just too, you know, really strong for those other specs. But Ashen Hollow is really strong damage for Ret and the preferred option, to be honest. But a 4-minute cooldown to me was a little bit
It's a
under,
big,
you know, it's
big
It's
cooldown.
not
not.
long. Yeah.
Yeah, it just wasn't what I wanted from Covenant. Just
No,
on
it's a
fun,
big,
you know, on the fun
it
base.
is a big
So
cooldown. I think
yeah.
that's why I want to go Kyrian on my priest, because Boone is just insane. And you go Super Saiyan, and there's nothing I'd love more than to go Super Saiyan in a dungeon.
Mm.
I want to go Super Saiyan.
You need to roll a priest then, mate, if you want to go Super Saiyan.
Oh.
You look so like worried about that in your face then. So
I don't.
I think we've discussed covenants and all that good stuff, which is good. I think another big part of it, and what we've all been doing, some of us together, some of us not, is Torghast.
Yeah.
What are people's thoughts? Actually, Torghast and the Maw. Let's discuss the Maw first. It's a bit easier. What are people's thoughts on the Maw? Because
I don't think it's that bad.
some people
I
hate
like the
it,
Maw.
some people like it, and then some people just don't really. I mean,
And I play like the 2 biggest wheelchair classes in the game, a Rep Paladin and a DK. I'm not very fast. And for me, I just think that and I'm not even in the. I don't stay there till I5 every day and get you know, because the rep and the what you actually get from it is important,
Yep.
but will still come in time and is absolutely not critical. So that's nice because it's kind of like you do what you kind of want to do as long as you do the fundamentals, so the weeklies and you know the dailies. And then speaking of the dailies, yeah, you got to run, you know, on to one end of the map and maybe the other, but they actually take you 2 minutes and you're gone.
So little like mini tip during the episode, yeah, for that is if you kill. Do you know when you come into the thing, the Maw, and do you know where the teleporter is?
Mm-hmm.
Do you know if you fall off that cliff, that there's a rare there. If you kill that rare, he drops a toy that every 20 minutes allows you in the Maw to shoot yourself up into the air, and then you can glide anywhere you want in the
Oh, is
Maw.
that right?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So kill that boss, like rare, get the toy.
You mean Borgeth?
Yeah, Borgeth, yeah.
Yeah,
So
I've got it.
if
That's
you
good
kill
try, that,
Borgeth, you can shoot up into the air and just glide. So
Oh, that's really useful.
if
Yeah.
you stand on a rock and then do it, you literally can hit anywhere you want in the Maw. Which is why, back to my point earlier, Dawn of Shadows is great because the amount
Get
of times
stuck.
I land in places and I'm like, shit, I can't actually get out of here. Because we all know, and I'm sure we all share the same hate, is when you die in the Maw, oh my god, and you see that 800 Sigil go, you're like, no, I've got to go get it.
Yeah.
It's scary.
It is an absolute. It is an absolute.
It is
debate.
because it's essentially what you lose on a death is like 4 days worth of dailies. You're obviously gonna have to go get it, aren't you?
Well, it's 20% in it, so it's just a fifth of your work.
Or is it? All right, okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah,
Off.
it's a
Wow,
lot.
it's a lot then.
So I think the Maw is so unfair for everyone else. I can mount, I can stealth. I mean, in the new zone that just opened up, I haven't killed a single mob. I did all the quests every day, but I haven't killed a single mob there.
Do you know how hard Petitions Hold is?
It's really hard. I do that on Pro, and that's fine. But
I
I
hear
can't
from
imagine
everyone complaining about it.
how a
I haven't killed a
DPS
single
or a
mob.
healer would do it very easily.
Honestly,
Yeah.
I'm running through it in disc. I'm getting slapped. Like it's ridiculous. I've had to make invisibility potions just to get in and out without dying because of all the elites.
You can buy those potions off the vendor, which make you
Yeah.
invisible.
So I've been using them. Yeah, they're really good. The only issue with them is I don't know if you've noticed, but when you go invisible with one of them, everything around you is gone. So
It's
you
like
can't
an
see
invisibility potion,
quests and you can't see objectives. So if you've got an objective to like break them pots, if you pop one of them, you can't see the pots, so you can't even stealth to where one is.
I'm
Um,
pretty sure you can still run into mobs which can stealth detect you as well.
yeah, probably. But no, the Maw's interesting. I
I was surprised that I haven't been abused that much because I did it with a friend once. She can sit on my back. I just go stag form and she can mount on me and
oh
we
yeah.
can run together.
It's a good
Yeah.
friend. I wish
So
I had a friend.
I wish I had a friend I could ride,
Yeah,
and then also play WoW with. But
yeah.
Yeah.
but no, I think it's a good point that, and I've seen a lot of druids. Do you know how much money you can make as a druid in there with herbalism? Because all the herbs are nightshades.
I thought you were
Yeah.
going to say just standing at Renara's Refuge,
offering
offering
taxi.
taxis, like taxi rides, you know.
Yeah.
All your rep pals coming
I'd be
over, like,
I'd be
how,
living
how
up to
much
this.
for the tramaculum, you know?
No, I'd be too much of a
Round
stereotype if
trip.
I stood there, wouldn't I? Christ.
Oh,
All I
yeah.
need is
Well,
a kebab shop. Christ.
Yeah.
Hello.
It'd be like Ranjit
and
of How I Met Your Mother.
you drive with
Hello.
you like D-packs on the way now. He's just
That's
come
it.
back from the tramaculum.
Deepak and Gurdeve. Like Chubuddy G's t-shirts that he makes. Oh god. But yeah, so no, I think that more is good. Interestingly, I was killing a
I think,
rare in Maldraxxus yesterday, and some guy was on the Maw Mount, and he'd killed the
yeah.
rare
The
on his
Beast Warren.
first attempt and
Yeah.
got it. And he was
That's
saying like it's a
Nice.
0.something% drop chance. I don't know what that is because I haven't checked it yet. But what I can't find is, and maybe you guys know, is where is that rare in the
It's
Maw?
in the Beast Orange. Do you remember where we explored and you said this one drops a mount?
Southeast.
When we didn't unlock it,
Oh yeah,
it's actually that.
that was when me and you went running into the other
We went
on
we
the other
went rogue
side,
and we had the debuff,
and we
but
kept
it's
getting
that
feared.
rare.
Yeah. All
It's that
right.
rare or a similar one, yeah.
So we need to. And can you go in there then now?
No, you need to unlock the apprehensive rep, which is the one after most people are on, unless they've been like sweat
Yeah.
farming the
Now
rails
it's on
every day.
tentative.
Yes.
I was doing beast balance today. Like I think by the looks of it, the weeklies are just getting harder and harder and harder because the petition holds 3 suggested players. I was doing a quest today which was 5 suggested players. I still managed to do it with 2 players, but it seems to be getting harder and harder.
I
It's
did
a
it solo every time.
Yeah,
well.
it's so
I mean,
fraught, isn't it?
so that takes us nicely on to Torghast. What are people's thoughts on Torghast?
Um, I like it. Uh, it's not as fun. It is fun because you don't have to do it that much. It would. I think the novelty would wear off quite quickly.
I think the
Uh,
novelty is already wearing off.
So
For me. I
It's
really
very
enjoy it.
exciting when you're like still learning about all the powers you could get in
that's
there,
that
and
is
you're
that is
still
fun.
new.
Yeah, that's fun.
And you do about 2 or 3 runs and you're still learning the powers and stuff. But then you kind of like learn what a meta power is and you know what to take. Some of the traps and flaws are absolutely infuriating.
Died so many
Like
times
the
for
one we had
traps.
last week with the bridge and the axes,
Oh
that was
my
just
god.
ridiculous. I think that as a requirement, a player power requirement, which it is really not much to ask, and it is definitely the best iteration of like an expansion feature, they've done because you're comparing it to like Islands,
So I
which
think
was awful.
Yeah.
what I like about it is if you compared it to Visions, which a lot of people are doing, is Visions you had to actually do a lot. Torghast, you only have to cap your soul ash and you're done.
Yeah, just 2 times a week if you want to do bare minimum. That's not a lot to ask.
No, but that's good though,
Yeah.
and it shows how good it is because like on my hunter's at the same level as my main. Because all you have to do is 2 floors a week. It's not really that hard. It takes you an hour max if you're going
Yeah,
slow.
Well,
and
so far, we're only on
well,
layer 3.
but yeah, like it allows you to get a legendary though really quickly, so you can actually craft your
Mm.
legendary like right now. Which obviously we'll discuss on the next topic part. But so I think yeah, it's fun, and to be honest, that shaman ability with the totems and consistent bloodlust is mental.
Yeah.
That's by
I've,
far
I've,
been my favourite one.
Well, there are a couple of ones. I think they added some new ones this week that I haven't seen last week. So I'm not sure if some powers are exclusive to one wing or not.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm not sure about that. But I absolutely love Torghast. I mean, I've done them multiple times. Even though I already done them, I just kept doing them with other people and having different classes, so you get different synergies and stuff like that happening, helping people out. So I really like that part, and I can't wait for the twisting corridors to open up so with new 18 floors. I wish it didn't have an end, was just an ending, so you can have a little bit of competition. How far did you get? What comp could you take? There doesn't always have to be a reward bound to it, like a mount or player power or something. If you just the sake of getting there is also a nice goal to have. It's same with M plus pushing. You don't get anything doing a plus 30 except for the
Yeah.
fact that you did a plus 30 and other people can't do it. So yeah, so far I really love it.
The twisting corridors, I think, will be fun because I think one of the main things with Torghast at the moment is you kind of get to the point where you're getting really strong and you're like,
Yep.
hell yeah, I'm going to go and do some fun shit, and then it's like
Yep.
you're at floor 6 and you've
No,
got to end.
it's
So I
good.
think
It's
I
good.
think it'll be cool. Yeah, when some more floors open up.
Well, that's good. I'm not hearing anything negative then, apart
I
from
did say about the Maw though. Back to the Maw. I think there's a lot more they're gonna do with the Maw. I think maybe a raid could be there or something.
Oh
or
yeah, there'll be a raid.
they're gonna do something else with it because it is very barren at the moment, and I think it's just the start of actually. I think
I
there's
think-
more to come from the Maw.
If you think
For
about
sure.
it, logically, the Jailer's raid will probably be in the Maw, won't it?
Yeah, I
'Cause
guess.
Yeah.
we're going to kill it
Should
at
be.
some point, and you would expect it to be there. One
Yeah.
thing I did want to go back to though is Luke said he's already bored of Torghast at the start. Go on, Luke. Why are you bored of it, and why are you not a fan of it? There's been much more grindier stuff to do.
No, I didn't really say I was bored. I felt, my point was the novelty is already running out for me. But like DT was saying, you've seen all the powers now, and you know once I've done it a couple of times, I'm like, what else is there to do? But I think that will be solved when Twisting Corridors comes out because you're gonna have a lot more to do, and I don't know how hard it'll be to get to the 18th floor. I'm sure it won't be possible for the first week or few weeks or months.
18.
Some people will do it.
Because it might
So-
become more fun once it becomes more challenging, maybe. Because at the moment it does feel a little bit arbitrary
So
on most classes.
little tip as well, if you've got the ability, for anyone listening or you guys, go healer spec. It's nerfed quite a lot for a healer, and it is really easy. As long as your healer can put damage out a little bit.
And tank also very easy.
But I think that's also the reason why it's more interesting for some people. Because for me, I have a tank spec, I have a melee spec, I have a boomkin spec, and a wrestler spec.
Yeah.
So the powers coming in, I can have multiple different builds. So that's why it's more interesting to me because I can go different ways.
Yeah.
And I think when you're a rogue, I mean you're a rogue. That's basically it. You got your powers, and you're limited to just
I
doing
mean,
that.
the rogue powers were. I've not done it since
They
buffed
buffed
but
them,
they
didn't
were,
they? They buffed the rogue and warrior ones because they were that trash.
I think they were
no,
a bit boring, weren't they?
it wasn't hard to finish a run, but I remember I was having to do some pulls where I'd have to take mobs one by one, and then I come onto the guild Discord and I see like Kane just fucking pulling them all and AoEing them all down. I'm like, ugh, I think rogues feel a bit underwhelming at the
Yeah,
moment.
well, I mean,
Yeah.
that's the benefit of playing a healer. Just go in disc,
Yeah.
dot
The
everything
only
up,
thing
and just pull it over spam.
The only thing a rogue can do is just stealth through, kill the portal guardians or whatever they're called, and do it again, boss, and that's it, and finish it in like 10 minutes.
Your advantage
Because
is rogue can do that.
that's what I did with True Champ as a mage. Went invis, I went stealth, and we skipped basically everything we could. There are some mobs that patrol that catch you, but you can you can just go around them. And we finished the run in like 10 or 15 minutes. We did a layer 3 run. So that's an advantage. If you don't enjoy Torghast, or you're like, oh, I have to do this, it takes too long because I can just single target everything and just try to stealth through everything. But I do think it's a lot easier going with 2 or 3 people. 5 is also possible, but kind of depends on the computer you're going because things will scale differently and stuff like that. So
If you're going in multiple people, you definitely need a healer or a tank in there, I feel, because the damage can scale up quite quickly.
Well, if you notice, it only that changes significantly when you take someone in tank spec, because the second someone's tank spec enabled, the mobs hit harder because they expect your tank to tank them all.
I think that tank's really easy when you're just a tank on
Yeah,
your own.
I can imagine it
But
probably
I
is.
think when you start injecting it into groups with DPS and stuff like that, it just gets a bit more, quite a lot tougher.
But no, they're good.
Yeah.
Legendaries seem to be quite common from the last bosses on the third floors.
I think
I've
they're
got a lot.
guaranteed. I
They're
don't
guaranteed,
know. You know.
yeah.
I
So I think
thought,
the only downside is, and they've done it very smartly here, Blizzard, is they've put a lot of the rubbish ones in there, or the specs that you're not playing. So I did on my Hunter, I got 3 in survival, which I was a bit like, well, who's playing
Yeah.
survival Hunter?
I've got 2 legendaries on my rogue that I'm not using as well.
Yeah, like some of my best ones. One for like red dungeons is from a dungeon, but then my other best ones are from like the raid and the Great Vault chest.
Yep.
But then you do get specs like Holy Paladin, where the best one is just from Torghast. So it's just it does seem that a lot of them aren't great from there, but there are some specs that are lucky in the
I
sense
think
that
it seems to be the
best ones
healer's
are
one
from
because the Resto Shaman is from Torghast, Resto Druid is from Torghast. But they're different wings, so every wing has its legendary, and some wings haven't opened up yet. So.
Interestingly, I got all my shadow ones from Torghast.
The best single
I think
target
Shadow
rogue
can
one is
just
from
use
Torghast.
anything and they're generally overpowered. I think that's what happens with Shadow
I
Priest.
mean, Shadow's a very strong spec at the moment.
It is.
But also, I think Torghast, I think it's a good addition. We'll see
It is.
what happens.
I find it hard for people to complain about it as an expansion feature. It's worlds apart from anything they've ever done
Oh,
before.
yeah.
100%.
It'd be
Well,
unfair to complain about it.
Twisting corridors will be really fun because it'll introduce some competition. How far have you got this week? How fast have you done it
That's
this
it.
week?
Yeah.
What comp
Yeah.
did you do it with? Yeah.
Well, the thing is, if you do Thorghast just to get your legendary, I'm not sure. I think it takes like 5 weeks, if I'm not mistaken, to have enough soul ash to craft your legendary to maximum power, and after that, Thorghast is totally optional. You can do it more to get your second legendary, or I think
Just
there's a
forget
mount
about
in
it.
there as well. Yeah, so it becomes optional after a while, which I really like, and that's what a lot of things with Anima as well. You can do a lot of Anima now, and once you've unlocked all your buildings and stuff like that, you basically don't need more, and I like that.
So I
I think
think
the one thing I've read about Torghast which disappointed me a little bit. I don't know if this is actually how it's going to play out, but in the twisting corridors at the beginning when it said it'd be random layouts for each floor, I thought it would actually be a random layout. But I think by the sounds of it, they're just going to take one of the rooms from one of the wings and just kind of rotate them around in a random order. They're not actually going to be different rooms.
right. Okay.
Like it's not going to be random. So I think that's a bit.
Yeah. No.
Yeah,
Look,
I wouldn't like that. I wouldn't like that.
we'll see what happens. But that does take us quite nicely into Legendaries. Been in the same area. So I guess what would be maybe a bit interesting is what's your first Legendary you're going for, and then any other little bits. Luke, you want to start us off?
Yeah, so there's actually three legendaries I really want on my rogue, and it's hard because I'm thinking, right, am I going to take raiding super seriously and just go for my best raiding one and get that to rank 4 first, and then I can think about other legendaries. But there's also two other legendaries which help me in Mythic Plus. You know, my best Mythic Plus one isn't my raiding one, and there's one which is best for PvP. And obviously, I want to do all three of those. I want to raid PvP and do Mythic Plus all starting from next week. But I think I'm gonna just focus on my raiding one right now, which unfortunately drops from the last boss in the raid. So I have to wait until that happens. I can't get my
But
legendary straight away.
we are going to clear normal fully on the first night.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if it's a drop chance or if it's guaranteed like Torghast.
Agreed.
Because if I have to, if I can imagine me being a really unlucky one, and we come to end of expansion, and I still haven't got the legendary if it's a drop chance, so that'd annoy me. But we'll
I think
see.
they are quite high.
I'm
Yeah.
kind of hoping we do normal on Thursday, is it?
Thursday we got.
Thursday.
So just
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
everyone obviously watching and listening, our plan is normal Thursday night with heroic on Thursday night as well. Then heroic finish clear on Sunday and Monday, and then into mythic on Wednesday when it opens. And at that point we won't really go backwards. However, that Christmas week we'll have a HC raid just for everyone that is here, because obviously not everyone will be. But we are
Yep.
going straight into mythic pretty much when it opens on the Wednesday.
Yeah, so I'll just continue. So the legendary that comes from raid is called Fatality. It's from end boss, and it just basically increases your finishing moves to a bigger degree after you've used a finishing move, which is basically eviscerate or block powder. So it makes you stronger every time you use it, multiple finishing moves.
Okay.
But so the one for PvP, which I really want, and I could get it now, is from the first boss in The Art of Pain. It's called Master Assassins, and it basically gives you 100% crit chance.
A notorious effect from Legion.
Yeah, I
Which is
think it
very
is. Yeah,
broken. It is. Mantle of the
and
Master Assassin was a legendary in Legion, yeah.
I think anyone who's seen any rogue right now in PvP can see they're already like one-shotting people in the opener. If you get that legendary on top of it, which increases your crit chance to 100% for 4 seconds or 6 seconds, it's going to be absolutely stupid. So I really want that legendary because it'd be so
Oh yeah.
fun just going into arena and basically at the moment there's probably a nerf coming in anytime soon, but You know, that'd be so broken and fun to play with at the moment. But
It does sound that does sound pretty mad.
I'm going to have to furlong that.
I think you're making the right choice. I
focus on
think
the raiding.
our priority is, as much as we're going to do the other things, I think the priority is raiding because obviously we want to get cutting edge, don't we? Again. So
That's a dream.
that's good, bit. Well, hopefully it'll drop for you.
We'll see how much corruption carried us last expansion.
That's
I guess.
it. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
DT, what about you?
Yeah, so I'm going with the I think it's going to be the best one for raids and even for dungeons, which is the Vision of Unending Growth, which basically means my rejuvenation has a 2.5% chance to cast another rejuvenation on another target, but that's with every tick. So 2.5% doesn't seem that much, but if it's with every tick, it also scales well with haste, and especially if your blanket's healing the rate and you got like 8-10 rejuves up, you know, it just scales very well. So that's the one I got from Torghast already. I already crafted it, even though a lot of people are saying, "Oh, don't craft legendary yet because it might get
Nice.
nerfed and stuff like that." But that's like saying, "Oh, don't play anything because anything might be nerfed at some point." I
Yeah.
mean,
Well,
with
DT,
that logic,
this is what happened to me because when I picked Panda Male for Rogue, at the time it's because the racial was so overpowered with the food buff. Obviously, I think I've changed that now, so now I'm stuck as a male panda. So sometimes it doesn't work out like that. But
yeah, sometimes it doesn't work out, but the legendary isn't that difficult to get, and it doesn't add that much to player power. It is important, but it's not like a 20% difference or anything. So even if they do nerf it, it's not that hard to catch up. I mean, a couple of weeks later, you'll have your different legendary. So that's the one I'm going for first. The other one, the, they're saying it's the best one for raids, but I don't think it is, and that's the Memory of the Mother Tree. So when I cast Wild Growth, I have a 40% chance to cause my next rejuvenation or regrowth to cast on 3 additional allies. It's good, but it's random again, and I don't like the randomness. If it's rejuvenation, it doesn't matter that much because you're blanket healing everyone anyway. And the good thing is that it synergizes well with the conduit I have. That overhealing creates a shield on the targets,
Yeah, that's nice as
which
well.
is a very nice one for Restorators because notoriously we do a lot of overhealing. So having that shield up will be great. So that's the one I will be going for next, but that's from the sixth boss in Castle Nasria.
Nope, very
So
nice, man.
we'll see when that comes in.
I
Yeah.
like it. I like it. Mr. Froth.
Yeah, so I mean, well, the one I want to craft is a protection one for dungeons.
I knew you were going to say that. Also, I can hear Rex crying.
Yeah, I'm a prop main now.
Bloody hell.
But no, yeah, and it basically all it does is make Avenger's Shield give you a 30% damage buff to Shield of Righteousness per target hit, which is up to 5 with first Avenger, so it's 150% more damage. Obviously, they've already nerfed the Shield of Righteousness conduit significantly by 70% total damage because it was just nutty. But they're still really strong, so, you know, add your cry now, but it did need doing because prop powers were outdoing
They are
single
strong,
target.
aren't they?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, it's kind of crazy. But the one that's best for me for single target in Ret and in protection actually if you're going for damage is called the Mad Paragon, and it means the Hammer of Wrath casts extend the duration of wings by about a second per cast. And obviously when you got wings up, you can use Hammer of Wrath on any HP. And if you take like Sanctified Wrath, which extends wings duration as well, it totals out at about a plus 10-second increase on your wings duration every
that's pretty
couple
big,
wings,
isn't it?
which is absolutely mad. You know, so actually, as you all know, how strong wings is as a cooldown.
What's the initial length on wings?
It's something like I think it's 20 seconds. If you take Sanctified Wrath, it's 25, and then so you're looking at over 30 seconds of wings.
Wow.
And so this legendary as well obviously works for all specs. because
So,
all
so that's the legendary where, like, if it does get nerfed,
all,
it's getting
all
nerfed,
specs have Hammer of Wrath, and all specs have access to Hammer of Wrath and Wings. So Holy, it just means you'll have 10 seconds or Wings. Prop, 10 seconds or Wings. Ret, 10 seconds or Wings. So
It sounds like a significant legendary. That.
it's nuts, yeah, and it's multi-spec, and it's basically the best for single target, and the only place the only place where it's not best. So if you're looking at pure AoE, so like Mythic Plus, you've got the Divine Storm legendary, which is the Legion effect, where Divine Storm creates a secondary Divine Storm tornado that gets projected.
That sounds cool. That does sound cool.
Yeah, it looks amazing visually, and it does the best damage as well for Cleave. So we've got that one to look out for Ret as well. And then Holy has a shock barrier, which is just Holy Shock puts and absorbs on, which is quite nice to have. And Prot has the one I mentioned earlier. So there's about 4 different legendaries to across all specs, which can be used in some content. But I'm thinking that the Mad Paragon, so there's the Wings extension, is just absolutely on the Sims, like it's just looking crazy value, and that is from the Great Vault apparently. So I don't know what that means. So I've heard that when the Great Vault's unlocked, you get a quest. And once you do that quest, you get it, so that would be 100%. You're going to get it. I've heard, or it could be a drop, so a random chance, or a guaranteed drop on your first vault. I have no idea how we get it. I just know it's something to do with the vault. So I'm looking forward to reset to find that out.
Yeah, interesting, won't it?
If anyone knows, just put it down in the comments.
But I hope it doesn't get nerfed. I feel like it could maybe get nerfed because that's like you're talking like over an extended Wings duration, and that's guaranteed as long as you're pressing Hammer Wrath on cooldown, which you should be. It's guaranteed.
Yeah, that'll scale like crazy. Once you get more gear, it's only going to be more beneficial.
Yeah, once you get good amounts of haste, 10% more haste, it's just crazy. So
is that why Paladins want to go Venthyr then for that haste?
Yeah, I think so. That's part of the reason. The Thrill Seeker obviously gives them a bit more haste, which gives them a bit more damage, and then Ashen Hollow is just a bit burstier than the other abilities. And it totals out at I think Venthyr Paladins are doing about 200 more DPS.
It's interesting. It sounds like quite a cool legendary, to be honest. I want to see the Divine Storm one.
I read it and thought sounds okay, but then when you actually do the maths and you're looking at like +9 +10 seconds duration on Wings, you actually realise the power of that.
Long time.
Yeah.
No, it's a long time. But so interesting. So mine is, I think mine's a little bit more straightforward. So Clarity of Mind is my legendary for disc. It drops a Sludge Fist, I think it is. So it's quite deep into the raid again, like Luke's. We'll sort of wait and see what the drop chance is. Sadly, it is the raid one, so I do need to wait for it. Essentially, what it does is, whenever you having this legendary on, whenever you Spirit Shell, it just basically increases the duration of all your atonements by I think 3 seconds, and then during Spirit Shell, all your damaging abilities are reduced mana cost, so you can essentially makes it a little bit more easier. However, if you're not running Spirit Shell, basically during your Rapture, all the Power Ward shields you apply are cheaper mana by 30%, but the main thing is they extend the atonement that it would usually put on the target. It does an extra 6 seconds.
It's like baking evangelism into it almost.
Yeah, so it's the Rapture thing I think is massive. 6 seconds extra on a Power Ward shield, which is an instant cast, is huge. It'll make your Rapture ramps very, very strong, I think.
Yeah, probably competitive with your evangelism ramp. So, yeah.
That's it, and it's a great one whilst you're moving, if ever needed. So it's interesting. It's quite an easy one. I think my plan will be to craft that next week if I can get it, and go straight into rank 2 with it.
It should be. It's from the second boss, so.
Yeah, so we'll see. Fingers crossed. Go rank 2, and then I'll go rank 3 with it as well before I do anything else. For Mythic Plus though, obviously I will be pushing Mythic Plus's disc. Is the twin of the Sun one, which is basically whenever you power infuse someone, I also get that ability. So it's insane in Mythic Plus because whenever I PI someone, I also get 100% of the effect. And 25% haste increase is massive for anyone, especially a healer. It's always good to have, especially in high keys. So you're prideful. You'll probably, I mean, you would be anyway, but you'd be getting PI in a prideful every time you do it, which looks spicy as hell. Which is another reason why I want to tip Boon. And then I think once I've done them two, I'll do the penance one, which a bit essentially whenever you're radiant, you get a 6% chance to stack your penance to cast 6 bolts rather than 3. It's a fun one, and I think I'll enjoy it in Mythics, but it's not really something you can put high on the list. I think the clarity of mind is so far ahead because if Spirit Shoals as overpowered as we think it could be, it's going to make it even better.
I think I'm always more of a fan as well when you know what you're getting from the legendary, like you
Yeah.
know when to use it. But penance one sounds a bit more about RNG, and you can't
Oh yeah.
play around it as much.
No.
I don't like powers like that
No,
when
no,
it's RNG.
that's why I love the Twins of the Sun one because I know for a fact whenever I PI someone, I'm getting PI 100%.
And like you say, you can match it up with prideful or
That's it.
bloodlust and stuff like that. So it's on demand.
And what we found is, like we said at the start, is PI is powerful, man. And in them Mythic
Yeah.
Pluses, it's going to be so powerful to have it. But no, it's good. It's good discussion, Legendaries. I think there'll be continuous conversations because it is what it is.
Yep.
The last sort of topic, well, what to discuss today was the raid. So obviously we're going into the raid. We've sort of said what the schedule is. I'm sure we're all going to watch many videos on it from now till Wednesday. I myself am going to watch them all tonight because I've got a bit of free time whilst I'm out. I think normal. I think we'll probably blast for it pretty quickly on the night, if I'm honest. I don't really see it being an issue. Heroic will be obviously more of a challenge, and then Mythic is Mythic. What I guess what the questions are is what are people's expectations and anything else you're sort of thinking about the raid. With it, this being our last part of the podcast, I think it's a good way to end it on the raid stuff. What are people? So DT, do you want to kick us off? What are you
Yeah.
thinking about it?
So I'm not expecting to clear a normal in the first night. We might. I'm not saying we're not, but it's not something I'm saying we're gonna do 100% for multiple reasons. One, we don't know how the bosses are tuned, so it's the raid just opens up. There might be bosses who are over or under tuned. The balancing isn't right. I mean, the rest of Shadowlands seems pretty okay, so it might definitely be fine. So that's one aspect we're not sure of. Second is we don't know how the servers are going to be. I mean, we are moving the rate from Wednesday to Thursday because we're expecting server instability because we're playing on Draenor. In the first week, and even more, even till now, disconnects happen. People are lagging out, stuff like that. There were queues. People have work coming home, have the seating queue. That might be an issue. So hopefully it will be fine. And if that's fine, that's if we can go straight into it, it might be fine. Um, but I am expecting it to be really nice. I think everybody is excited to get back into the raid, to test
Definitely.
their class out because you're doing dungeons now, but it's not the same as doing a raid. People have switched around roles. We have some new people, not that many, but we have a couple of new people coming into the raid. See how the dynamic is there. So I think it's going to be really fun. Yeah, to get back into it.
Yeah, I think it'll be cool because obviously, back last year we obviously built our team up quite quickly and achieved a lot quite quickly. Granted it was late in Nyalotha and we, everyone did have quite a lot of gear and all the rest of it, and we still managed to achieve Covenant, which was obviously still a nice achievement. Not everyone got that kind of thing, but obviously it'll be interesting now to put relatively the same team anyway in a dynamic where actually the content is hard, and to see how we kind of come together and get through that together. So our main goal was building that strong team in Nyalotha, and that's exactly what we did, and we got a lot of practice with it. So I'm kind of excited
No,
to put that into practice now and in actual progression, and I think it'll be fine. I have good faith.
Yeah.
I think we'll breeze through normal. I think if we don't down normal on the night, it'll be more due to time constraints, like say maybe server instability or time explaining new tactics. But I think
Yeah.
the challenge of normal will actually be that challenging for us. I think
Yeah. Agreed.
heroic is where we're gonna have our first few. I won't call them walls. I'm pretty sure we'll do heroic as well, but where we might actually hit our heads a few times at the last bosses and stuff. I think we'll probably do normal quite quickly. What in terms of actually time spent on the bosses?
Yeah. Agreed. And at the end of the day, we're a Mythic Guild, and we're going. We want to be one of the first ones to get it on the realm. We want to challenge for that. I agree with Luke. I think the only thing that's going to stop us is it's quite a lengthy raid in terms of there's quite a few bosses, and we don't know what the duration will be to actually run through the raid without the bosses, all the trash and all that good stuff. But I think it'll be good. Fingers
Yeah,
crossed. Fingers crossed the
we'll go,
servers stand up for it. That's the main one.
yeah, I think one of the things is, on the bosses we did in last expansions, but once we come to them, all the weak cores were already made. Everyone
Yeah.
already knew the tactics. We've already seen multiple streams of people doing ends off and stuff.
It's
We're
different.
going
isn't it?
in. We're going into this raid, and I haven't looked at most of the videos. I know Rex has done quite a little bit of preparation for each boss in terms of he knows kind of how they played out, but like there's not going to be any weak cores helping us or anything like that. So
No,
I
no.
think we'll do normal, but I don't. It's going to be a bit more tricky. I think it's going to take a bit more brain power.
I've got
and I'm excited for it. Yeah, and discipline.
what's that? You've got a discipline priest. What more discipline do you want?
Yeah.
I had to bet the joke.
when we went on to Mythic Varden and we killed it on like a third attempt or something, and it was actually down to a weak
like
core.
that, isn't it? A weak
We're not going
core,
to be getting
yeah.
Yeah, no, it's true, and I think it'll be interesting. There will be weak aura packs out, by the way, on the Thursday, because there's quite a lot of streamers that I've been watching as well.
I've been doing dungeons for 2 weeks like weak auras now, and I actually don't know what I'm doing.
No, so I'll link the weak aura today in guild chat, by the way.
Which one? The dungeon pack?
Yeah, the dungeon
It
packs.
exists.
No, but the one that I linked works perfectly. So I actually got it. So
I've been using the dungeon pack since day one.
I didn't even have one yet.
So there is a really good one out. That one I linked today.
You're just a really good player.
Well, you must be really good. Shout out.
I must be really good. Shout out to me. Really.
No, I'm going to shout out to Magma Sauce, because he sorted us out from our previous guild. I was on the
Magma Sauce.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we can just call it Magma, but he sorted us out.
Sure, it's Magma sausage, isn't it?
Well, I mean, yeah, but like, you know what I mean, like saucy saucer.
It's Magma related.
We'll just call it Magma. Thanks, Magma. He gave me that weak aura last night. It worked. I did a few today, and it really does help a lot more than what I had. And to be honest, I wanted it more for Mythic Plus, because my plan is on Wednesday to start doing some Mythic Pluses. And I know
definitely
we'll be smashing some of them out. I think it'll be easy. I think up to 6 is the loot you can get. Plus 6.
0 to 4 should be relatively easy.
No, so 0 to 6, because 7 is when you get your third affix, and 10 is when you get prideful. So realistically, up to 6 you should be able to do. Quite.
Oh no, I could definitely do 6. I'm just saying 0 to 4 will be so easy.
0 to 4, I don't think you'll notice a difference.
You'll start feeling the scaling a bit after 4 with our gear, I think.
Well, I mean, that'll be the interesting part, and it's same with raid as well. We'll see the challenge of the raid. We've all got we're all about between 182 and 185, I think the guild's at now. Most of the people.
Well, between 180 and 185 is where most people are now.
I think there's a couple of people we're probably going to have to, on Wednesday night, maybe we can sort of check who actually still needs a bit of going to specific dungeons to try and get them the last little bits. But I'm kind of expecting people, if they want to be Mythic raiding, they need to be ready.
Yep.
I mean, I've been ready for quite a while now, I felt like.
Who's ready on the first day of release when you go?
Yeah, mate, we won't far off it. When we did that clock
stack. You three lived World of Warcraft the first few days, didn't you? I don't think I saw Frothy log off.
Frothy,
do you want to
tell everyone? Do you want to tell everyone how much sleep you got in the first week?
God. Well, I had a week off work. It came out. I was an hour behind because of getting DC at the beginning. I don't think I slept for the first 2 days at all.
Jesus.
So just to let people aware as well, we're on Drano EU Horde. So I think behind Kazakh it's the second busiest, and it's just the queues were up to 5,000 some days.
Just don't log off.
Yeah, I don't think I logged off for a week. I was off work that week as well with you.
If that was an option.
I don't think I logged out.
Yeah, about 6 hours sleep, maybe 6 to 8 hours sleep.
My problem is I was logging in, and then I'd play 2 hours, and I'd get DC'd and get thrown into a queue. So first 3 days I really couldn't get any game time.
Yeah, a lot of people that did, unfortunately couldn't get time off work or anything like that, or were just punished for basically logging in.
I do have to say though, this expansion launch was the first one ever for me where I've played from the 11 o'clock it came out all the way through till the morning for a good 4 or 5 hours and not have any issues.
It was a really smooth launch. Like the delays were an hour. That's about it.
The days after, it was a queues were bad because of busy servers.
Well, do we usually release it at night time? Because I feel like
yeah, they do. And that I literally, from when the guy spawned in Ogrimmar, I walked straight to the portal, went in and started leveling. I know a lot of people had to wait about an hour, but me and Jack went straight in. Not one issue.
I think a lot of people might have been asleep, and once we realised it was out, everyone was just trying to get on, wasn't they?
Don't know, but it's my experience. It's the smoothest expansion launch I've ever done.
Yeah, I can't complain about it for sure.
But it's been good. The raids, I think, will be interesting. But I think we've had a good discussion there. I mean, there's a lot happening. There's a lot gonna be happening. I'm sure next week, if we can get some time here, Mark, next week as well, we'll be able to discuss some certain bosses, because we all know there's gonna be some bosses we're gonna see on normal and be like, holy shit, they are gonna be a wall blocker in Mythic. You're gonna come. There's gonna be some in there. There's the dancing boss, which is just gonna be was it Zanesh in? No, what was the football boss called?
Zanesh.
That's
Yeah,
Danish.
Zanesh.
Wasn't that? Yeah. So there'll be there's
Left.
already one in there. There'll be a
Guys,
wall.
what we're gonna do if we can't even get past the right?
I probably just click the gameplay.
Yeah,
I'll
I'll probably just go PvP or something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Play
Mythic, yeah.
An actual hard game.
You'll find out if we did well in the raid next week is if next week I'm Kyrian and I've gone to the Mythic Plus Covenant.
If you need some practice or like game mechanics stuff like that, you could just do Path of Ascension.
Oh my god.
It's
Bloody
really
hell.
challenging, and
Here we go.
beats making tea. Definitely a better use of your time to get
No.
better at the game.
Maybe next week.
If you like Path of Ascension, please put it down in the comments.
Yeah, just down
let us know
below.
why Path of Ascension.
I'm just kind of wondering if RuneScape has a Path of Ascension.
So that is actually that's a quick one. I'm gonna leave you all on a cliffhanger actually for all the viewers. So there's two things. So make sure you click the bell thing, because I've seen a lot of YouTubers do that. Click the bell, because then you'll get notified when we do a video, which is always good. Let's be honest. Yeah, riveting.
It's bell subscribe and liking it or something.
All that
If you
stuff.
click the bell once every 6 months, you'll get a notification just saying that we've done a new
Yeah,
video.
that's it. What more do you want?
I refrained from making a joke.
So we'll do it next week. And what I'm thinking next week is maybe we get a guest on. So maybe we get someone from the raid team in.
Yeah.
Jack will have calmed down about Tottenham spanking him today. I have said that as well. I know he's going to hate me, but I had to make the comment, Jack. I'm sorry. So we could potentially get someone like Jack in or something. I think at some point we'll get Nikolai in as well. We'll have a German on the show a bit of diversity.
We've got to start showing culture as well, yeah.
That's it. But next week we'll get someone in. I think, to be fair, I think Lena's our first guest, because we promised the last time, didn't we?
Yep.
We did, yeah.
Is that right? Yeah.
Yep.
So
Yep.
we'll
Yeah.
get Lena on next weekend then. So DT, if you could ask Lena again, we'll get her on.
I will, especially now with her new rank. I mean, it's good to get.
Yeah, that's it. But no, I think that's it. Any other tips or tricks or anything else people want to say before we finish for today?
There's a world quest in Ravendreth where you can get an umbrella to.
I got it today. Really useful.
Yeah, it looks really cool on a panda.
Right,
Yeah,
okay,
so
so get your umbrella from Revendreth, get to the Maw, and kill the rare. What's it called, Luke?
Borgeth.
Kill Borgeth, get your toy, click
I
it.
think it was called like
glide.
Borgeth's Thievery Stone or something like
Yeah, you can glide anywhere.
Just is that a chance or is that?
I killed it once and got it, so I'm pretty sure it's quite high drop.
No, it's a chance, yeah, but I think it is a high chance.
Kill it, you will get around the Maw quicker, everyone. And remember,
Good tip.
give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. Teach a man to fish, he'll eat for the rest of his life.
Nice.
Nice.
Well-
Yeah, right. Yeah.
To go out with a tip, I'll give my tip. Farm Avowed rep. I'm not gonna go into why and how and all that. That's too long. Just look it up and do it as soon as you can. That's my big tip for today.
I like it. But no, cool. Right, well, thank you everyone, and we'll speak in either next week or 6 months.
Cheers.
Yeah.
See you guys.
Cheers.
Bye.